What's poppin', y'all? We back with the fourth episode of Where Are They Now when it comes to the XXL list. We go through each year and see how the rappers have held up over time and where they are today. We also get to see the evolution of XXL throughout the years and how things have changed with how accurate they are in predicting the future stars or just the shelf life of rappers in general. As usual, all the previous episodes will be linked in the description. It'll probably be a playlist. If you like analysis videos on hip hop and rap, then subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. I upload at minimum twice a week on Mondays and Wednesdays. And also follow me on Instagram. I do my first reaction reviews to albums as they release on there. The 2011 XXL freshman list consisted of Meek Mill, Big KRIT, CyHi The Prynce, Lil Twist, Yellow Wolf, Fred the Godson, Mac Miller, YG, LoBeat, Kendrick Lamar, and Digga Simmons. First is Meek Mill, who was rapping for a very long time, even a battle rapper before he even made XXL. In 2008, after releasing the mixtape Flamers 2, Hottest in the City, he was signed to Charlie Mack through a management deal, and he would soon meet with T.I., who was owner of Grand Hustle Records. He would sign to T.I.'s label, but soon after got charged with possession of drugs and guns and was serving 7 months in prison, and wouldn't be released until 2009. Soon after Meek Mill, T.I. had his own set of legal problems that landed him in prison, and they just separated in 2010 without Meek Mill ever releasing an album under that label. The same year though, he would release his mixtape Flamers 3, The Wait Is Over, with DJ Drama's Gangsta Grill series, with the single Rose Red that was making noise. In 2011, Rick Ross signed both Meek Mill and Wale to his label Maybach Music Group, or MMG. Meek didn't get to release any music on this label before making the XXL freshman list, so they really caught him early, because soon after the XXL list, his career would continue to rise at a rapid rate from his debut single Tupac Back to the song I'm a Boss that would peak at number 51 on the Hot 100. In August of 2011, releasing his Dream Chasers mixtape, that would become a staple series for his fans. In May of 2012, Dream Chasers 2 would release and it would crash the mixtape site DatPiff. And when his debut album Dreams and Nightmares released in October of 2012, it would debut at number 2 and sell 165,000 first week with one of his most recognizable songs ever, Dreams and Nightmares intro. Dream Chasers 3 released in 2013, and unfortunately his second album wouldn't release until 2015 because he had to serve prison time for a probation violation again. But once released, Dreams Worth More Than Money was released on June 29th, 2015 to huge sales and debuting at number 1 with 246,000 sold first week, 215K being through traditional sales, not streams. This is also where the Meek Mill and Drake beef started, and unfortunately for Meek, he was clowned for a good year and a half, if not 2 whole years, by everyone from company social media accounts to rappers to the fans. It was rough. Even with his third album, Wins and Losses, released on July 21st, 2017, it would still sell 102,000 first week, but it was a huge drop from his prior album, and many people thought Meek could never recover. But a prison sentence for another probation violation in New York City and the injustice around not only Meek's case, but many his judge has handled, led people to finally see him as the underdog again, along with Meek's changed perspective and attitude. In 2018, he would release his fourth album, Championships, reuniting with Drake and selling 295,000 albums first week. Most of them being through streams, but nonetheless, it was his second number 1 album and loved by fans and critics. It's safe to say this was a great pick by XXL. Both quality and commercially, Meek Mill is one of the top of the rap game in 2019. Second is Big KRIT. The Mississippi rapper had been very active in music before 2010, releasing a handful of his own mixtapes, and being a guest feature on Currency's album Pilot Talk and Wiz Khalifa's mixtape Kush and Orange Juice. Formerly using the name Critical, he would eventually change it to just Big KRIT. In May of 2010, he would release the mixtape KRIT Was Here online that made a lot of noise and got the attention of Sean Money XL, who at the time was an A&R at Def Jam Records, and he would sign KRIT to the label. He would make it onto the freshman list in 2011 just off this release really. He had yet to release his debut album or another project, so XXL caught him pretty early when it came to mainstream attention, if you would call it that. Almost immediately after making the XXL freshman list, KRIT would release his self-produced mixtape, Return of Forever, that not only the fans but critics and magazines loved it, giving it really high ratings and saying the quality was that of an amazing album, if not greater. At a time when most mixtapes were remixes of using beats of popular rap songs, producing original beats for your own mixtape was not common. KRIT would self-produce his debut album, Live from the Underground, that was released on June 5th, 2012, selling 41,000 first week, and once again, making it to many Best Album of the Year lists with huge praise from both fans and critics. He would release his second album, Cadillactica, in November of 2014, debuting at number 5 and selling 44,000 first week. Once again, this album received critical acclaim and rated as one of the best to release that year, from the writing and instrumentals, almost all of which self-produced by KRIT again. In 2016, Big KRIT would separate from Def Jam and would make his own label, Multi-Alumni, releasing his third album, Forever Is a Mighty Long Time, in October of 2017. Once again, most of the production being done by KRIT, and debuting at number 7 with 33,000 in sales first week. This time a double disc album, it was on pretty much, again, every single end-of-year list for best albums. While Big KRIT was never one of the hottest rappers, he's having a lot of success, even independently right now, and is recognized as being one of the best rappers, not only out of the South, but just in general. Third is CyHi The Prynce. He was signed to Convict Music before getting popular through Kanye West and the work he did featured on Good Fridays, the free song Kanye would release every week, and being featured on the song So Appalled on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. He would release the mixtape Royal Flush in 2010 and wouldn't release Royal Flush 2 until June of 2011, months after he had already made the XXL freshman list, so it was likely through him working with Kanye West that got him on here. Since making this list, he never blew up, although everyone had eyes on him. He would continuously release mixtapes, but it wasn't until November of 2017 that his debut album, No Dope on Sundays, would be released. Commercially, this tanked, debuting at number 65, but there was almost no promotion, and CyHi's hype was nowhere near what it was in 2011. However, the quality of this album met all the expectations and more that people had for it. Fans were happy, and so were the blogs and critics. It made almost every end-of-year album list, and I don't think this was a bad pick because CyHi is a great rapper and was never in the center of the spotlight to begin with. If No Dope on Sundays sucked, then I would probably say otherwise. Fourth is Lil Twist, who got signed to Lil Wayne as just a kid. To give you some perspective, he's only 26 now. He was just a feature on Young Money singles, but released some mixtapes that never got attention, like The Takeover and Class President. He likely only got put on here for that, to be honest. He never had a nationwide hit song that I can remember, and after making the list, all he did was features and become homies with Justin Bieber for a while, until getting into legal trouble where he assaulted the Disney actor Kyle Massey's brother, Corey in the House, and served some time, then tried releasing a mixtape in 2017 like Anybody Gave a Damn. Still no debut album. Not that anyone would care to check it out. This was a huge flop of a pick. To think someone that was always around Justin Bieber would use that clout to, I don't know, elevate their music career, but no, he uses it instead to land himself in jail. Twist was never good with his awful rapping voice, and this was a trash pick. Fifth is Yelawolf, another southern rapper, this time out of Alabama. He had dropped music throughout the mid-2000s, but wouldn't get any attention until Trunk Music in 2010 that blew up online and got him signed to Interscope Records, which is what got him on the freshman list of 2011. He'd release his major label debut album in November of that year, titled Radioactive, to sales of 41,000 first week. It wasn't until 2015 though that he would peak, releasing his album Love Story with a debut at number 3 and selling 58,000 first week. I couldn't tell you much about Yelawolf. I never met a single person in my entire life who listened to him, and I heard his name online a handful of times in 2014, 15, but it seems like he's fallen off since then. His last album, Trial by Fire, was released on October 2017, and they don't even got sales numbers for it. I mean, damn. It debuted at number 42 on Billboard, which ain't good. I've never listened to a Yelawolf song, so I can't tell you if he's trash, but if we're judging how they're doing now, this pig didn't turn out too hot. Sixth is Fred the Godson, a rapper out of the Bronx, and one of the rappers I'm guessing that was put on here because of the New York bias, because he is nowhere to be found after making this list. He was an underground rapper back then, but since then he's probably only dug himself 6 feet deeper underground because he hasn't released a song since like 2014, which I didn't even listen to, and he never released an album. Nobody knew about him back then other than a track he did with Pusha T off his mixtape City of God, hosted by DJ Drama in 2011, or maybe if you follow battle rappers, and definitely nobody knows about him right now. This was definitely the biggest flop of a pick when it came to this year. 7 is Mac Miller, who released his mixtape Kids through the independent label Rostrum Records and got noticed through the songs and music videos he would release on his YouTube channel Tree JTV. This got him on the freshman list, and ever since then he's been rising. One of the most consistent rappers when it comes to quality projects, with not a single mixtape or album since 2010 that I've listened to I would call anything less than good. His debut album was released in November of 2011, the same year he made the list, and sold 145,000 first week, debuting at number 1. Since then his sales would decline, although his quality would rise. He was never the hottest rapper, but was consistently considered one of the best, and his last album, Swimming, even being nominated for a Grammy. Mac Miller was definitely a great choice because they picked him right before he started releasing all of his greatest projects, and they only really had Kids to go off of. And Leaders of the New School is correct, since many rappers have cited Mac Miller as one of their influences. 8th is YG, and as much as 6ix9ine liked to clown him for saying he only had one hit song, Toot It and Boot It, featuring Ty Dolla $ign way back in 2009, it's likely what got him on this list, along with the mixtapes Four Fingers and The Real Four Fingers he released between that single and 2011. YG was chosen pretty damn early. He was hot on the West Coast, mainly just LA at the time, but he wouldn't really explode until 2013 with the release of his debut album My Crazy Life with the 4 times platinum single My Nigga. It was a great project that has since gone platinum, and the follow-up Still Brazy, released in 2016, that hasn't done nearly as well commercially, but quality-wise, it's still up there. Stay Dangerous, released August of last year, and it was absolute trash, despicable, but there was a single, Big Bank, that peaked at number 16 on the Hot 100. YG was definitely a good pick here. His career is doing fine, and still one of the hottest West Coast rappers in the game, if not one of the hottest rappers in general, maybe top 20 in popularity. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. 9th is LoBeat, and this was an impressive pick by XXL because only people really on the internet was rocking with LoBeat in 2010, 2011. He had separated from the pack in the late 2000s and was consistently releasing music videos and mixtapes, about 3 music videos a week for about a year in 2011. The output was insane. He was making do-it-yourself memes and posting them on Facebook into the late hours of the night. I'm talking 1, 2, 3 a.m. Same thing with Tumblr. Most initially thought he was a joke, but as he demonstrated on his freestyle and the one he made a music video for, he can rap, and this was a great pick. LoBeat only became more popular and even a mainstream figure in sports now for his curse. XXL had good foresight here, predicting one of the legends of the rap game who has influenced this entire wave. Number 10 is Kendrick Lamar, and is this even a question whether or not this was a good pick? He's the hottest rapper in the game right now. Maybe Drake bigger, but he's definitely the most respected since he doesn't have the ghostwriter thing hanging over his head. His first album, Overly Dedicated, was released for free on September 23rd, 2010, after he was on tour with Tech N9ne and J-Rock. And it's likely what got him his place on this list since J-Rock was more popular than him at the time, and you gotta remember, J-Rock already made this list. The music video for the song Ignorance is Bliss caught the attention of Dr. Dre, who wanted to work with him, and this combination of attention and a great album most likely landed him on here. Since then, he's been on a huge upward trajectory that doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon, with Good Kid Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, the Black Panther soundtrack, and a new album on the way. Collecting plenty of Grammys on the way. Whether you think Kendrick Lamar is overrated or not, this pick was right on the mark, and that's facts. The 2011 list had 11 people, and the last is Diggy Simmons, who is the son of Rev Run from Run DMC. He was on an MTV reality show about his family, and to give y'all some perspective on how washed He is. He's only 23 years old. He wasn't a bad rapper though, and many saw him as a prodigy, releasing his first mixtape, The First Flight, in 2009 and signing to Atlantic Records from there. He had Kanye West shouting him out for a freestyle he did over Nas' song Made You Look, and a song with Pharrell and Lupe Fiasco titled Oh Yeah. The hype is definitely what got him on this list. He was only 15 or 16 at the time, and it's not like he was one of the hottest rappers. He hadn't done much at all. He released his debut album, Unexpected Arrival, in March of 2012, debuting at number 13. I never listened to the project, and it didn't make much noise. Regardless, since then he hasn't released an album. 7 whole years, and nobody is looking for an album from him either. Easily a terrible pick, and they bought into the hype because of who he was related to, if I had to guess. And that's the whole list of 2011. I personally think 2010 was better than this one. But let me know in the comments if you think this was the best list so far. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can keep notified and updated with the series. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I'm always replying. Just don't send me music. Thank you for watching. Peace.